Hey guys, this is Mr. V over here doing a book review today for Bedside Manor by Jack Townsend. Before I get into my book review, you should know that I do a spoiler-free book review, so if you see me looking down occasionally, I just have some notes so I don't give any spoilers away. So, let's talk about Bedside Manor by Jack Townsend. Before you even consider this book, you should know that this is part of the Tales from the Gas Station series, but this is kind of like a side story that I would definitely recommend that you read the Tales from the Gas Station series, at least one book, before you even consider this book, because you need to know who the main characters is, Jack and Jerry. You need to know who those are, and because he doesn't do much character development, because again, this is just somewhat of a side story. So that's why make sure you guys read that before you read this book. So anyway, the premise for Bedside Manor is Jack and Jerry are on a road trip, and then their car breaks down, and they are basically in the middle of nowhere when their car breaks down. And they don't have any cell phone signal, anything, and there's almost no houses around, anything like that. They both remember that there is kind of a house a little while back. It's a little bit of a walk, but they both found it a little creepy. And they decide though that they need the help to where they're going to go to that house and ask for some help. And it starts from there. So you guys should know that. Now, this book was instantly funny. It is basically the typical Tales from the Gas Station. You know how when you open those books, they're almost instantly funny. And because it had the same writing style where it's first person and you're in basically Jack's mind, all that. And, it's a great writing style, and it's the same style of humor where there are some supernatural elements involved, but how there's sarcasm, funny lines, funny situations, all that. So it's basically, it is a side story from Tales from a Gas Station. So, you guys should know that. It is a lot of fun because it is a fun story, and it is entertaining. It's like his other books. It's very entertaining because he puts great situations in there, and you always wonder what's going to happen next and all of that. And and Jack is hilarious, Jerry's hilarious, but again, he doesn't do character development for those two. I think he already expects that you need to know who those two are, which is why do not read it if you have not read at least one Tales from a Gas Station. So overall, I thought it was great. As for some of the negatives, I didn't think there was too many negatives, but one of the negatives I thought is that he kind of did a lot of characters that, because this is technically a novella. I don't remember the exact length, but it's 150, 180 pages. I don't remember. But this is almost a novella. And I thought he kind of threw in a lot of characters for being somewhat of a short story. And it takes a little time to get to know who those characters are. And, the characters are easy. So, that helps. But it's still, I thought he probably could have cut just a couple characters because it still is not that long a book. So, that was one thing that I would say is the negative. Another thing was that the last 15-20% of the book, it was all over the place at times. It was kind of weird, and it was a little bit all over the place. And there are definitely some fun parts in the ending part. But it's there were parts where it was what? It's just all over the place. I can't explain it without giving spoilers away. But just be aware of that. And another thing that I did not like was I was not a fan of the end. There are people online who enjoyed the end. But there was one part of the end that I loved, but overall, I was not that big a fan of the end. And someone put it perfectly online where they kind of described it as a that's it type of end. And when I thought back, I was yeah, I would describe it that way. There was a great build up, his typical Tales from a Gas Station, but then it's after you get to the end, you're wait, that's it? It just, I don't know. It just, the end was not for me. I don't know what it was. It was for other people too. But, that's just what I feel. But I'm going to give it my official rating right now. Before I give it my official rating, please watch the video after I give my rating, as there's a few other things I want to say. But anyway, I'm going to give it my official rating. I always rate my books on a scale of 0 to 10, whereas 0 is an awful book, a 5 is average, and a 10 is phenomenal. If it gets a 10 or anywhere near 10, that should be on your reading list, because I'm a very tough critic. If you go back to my other book reviews, you'll see I'm a tough critic, because it's hard to move up even like 0.5 in my rating system. As a 5's average, and I feel many books are average. So, my official rating for Bedside Manor by Jack Townsend was a very difficult one to rate, but I decided to give this a 6. And then again, a 5's average, so a 6 is still a pretty good book. I almost gave it a 6.5, but I downgraded it a bit just because, you know, while it was a perfect side story, he still had all the humor in there. The last 15 to 20% was kind of like kind of weird at times. And then I was not a fan of the end. And it just wasn't the same level of like the full Tales from the Gas Station books. And I also downgraded a bit just because it's like, if you did not read the series, it would turn you off from the series. Like, you need to have read the series to enjoy this book. And that's why I downgraded it a bit. Just so you know, like, I've read the first 3, and, you know, Tales from the Gas Station 1 got a 6.5, then 2 and 3 got a 7.5. So, you know, but that's why I felt this was a pretty good 6. Again, almost 6.5, but I just felt, nah, it had to be downgraded just a bit. But again, I still recommend this book for a lot of people. Now, one thing that I rarely do, and I'm going to do it in this, is that I would definitely recommend you guys get the audiobook for this. The narrator is amazing. Like, he does it, and what's really, like, he just is an amazing narrator, and he just does it so well. And what's also amazing about the audiobook was that they added sound effects. So that was pretty cool. Like, if when you hear it raining outside, they play the rain, or if someone shatters glass, it's like you hear the glass shattering. So, you know, I thought that added to it, and it was a lot of fun. And that's why I would recommend you guys get the audio when you guys get this book. You know, but again, make sure you are a Tales from the Gas Station fan before you guys consider reading this, as it is a side story. Anyway, I recommend this book. If you guys have any comments, disagreements, questions, please post them in the comment section below. I hope you guys click the subscribe button, as I always upload new book reviews from different authors. But thank you for watching my book review. This is Mr. V. Go enjoy your reading.